Welcome back to another Miata Track Challenge presented by Nankang Motorsport and Race Pack. Today we're putting two of the hosts of MotoringTV in a head-to-head battle. If you grew up in Canada watching TV and you're interested in cars, you probably recognize these two guys. They are, of course, hosts of MotoringTV, Jim Kenzie, one of the most famous auto journalists in Canada. Is it fair to say that?
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, he sells a calendar. That's how famous he is. Go to jimkenzie.com and buy a calendar now. The money goes to charity, am I correct?
Please do. The Parachute, Canada's largest safety organization. Yeah.
Right. And his Kenzie's Corner, at least for me as a young man growing up, was the most anticipated part of the show. He has a classic, is it fair to call it a curmudgeonly quality to him?
It's all an act.
It is an act, of course.
Stay out of the left lane.
Yes.
I'm really a nice guy in person. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
If you want somebody to fight for your rights on the road, he's the guy to contact. And if you want someone to put you in a race car and do crazy things with, this is the guy right here, Russ, who, of course, does the fastest 2 minutes on TV, the 2-minute test drive. A lot of times it's at racetracks. You obviously have a very deep background in motorsport.
Yep.
Race formula cars, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. And
now you're doing Kart Start.
I'm doing Kart Start presented by Toyota, where we teach young kids to drive during the summer. So it's 1,300 kids a year, and next year we'll find our 10,000th participant.
Wow. And you even put hand controls on one for kids that are in wheelchairs.
I don't like it when a family comes in and one's in a wheelchair and he can't go. So now everybody goes.
That's awesome.
If they have a dog, he's going to.
What a great program. So if you have kids that are interested in motorsport, or you want to see if they have an interest, look up, is it carstart.ca?
Carstart.ca, Kart Start with a K.
And it runs all over Canada, so look it up.
Yeah.
These guys both have lots of racing history too, which you mentioned. Jim, of course, is a multi-time open class winner at Targa, Newfoundland. You've done all kinds of other racing.
Well, I have 1 year of racing experience 45 times.
Okay.
It's kind of like Groundhog Day. It's on the same day.
Makes the same mistakes over and over again. I can relate to that.
I've only rolled twice.
He's only rolled twice.
I've rolled both generations of Mini.
I've seen you in a tree in a Mini once too.
Yeah, that was, my first rollover was at Mosport in a first generation Mini.
Okay.
And my second rollover was at Targa, where I took a 160 kilometer an hour corner to 161 kilometers an hour, and that did not end well.
Targa is a challenge for sure. We're not going to talk anymore about Targa though, gentlemen. Yeah. Today is the day to find out which of you is the fastest in our race car Miata. It's a stunningly quick machine. Russ has already looked it over, so he's been cheating a little. There's not a lot to it. It's coilovers, it's sticky tires, it's safety gear, and it's a loud exhaust to make it feel like it's fast, but it's not fast. Okay. So it's a commitment car though, and it's got no ABS, so the brakes will lock up on you. And if you lift the middle of the corner, she's going to want to try to spin on you. So commit to your corner entry, boys. Okay. So to choose who goes first, we're going to do the classic rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go. Rock beats scissors. You want to go first or second? Jim's up first. So the format is very basic. There's no practice laps. There's just one warm-up lap, 3 hot laps, and come on in. We put a lap timer in the car that you can't even see your lap times on, so we'll spring your lap times on you at the end as a surprise.
All right.
But we'll have data in the paddock here that we can watch you and make fun of you while you do your hot laps. Welcome to Kenzie Cornering, everyone, where Jim would no doubt be his usual talkative self during these hot laps, perhaps even recounting the story of how the original concept for the Miata was born. Sadly though, we forgot to ask Jim to do some commentating during his laps, so instead you'll have to settle for the surprisingly sporty sound of our Miata to go along with Jim's feverish rowing of the gears. Jim just rolled by on his, I think, third and final lap. At least it sounds like he's on a cool down lap. At least in Jim's head, that was his final lap. Interesting watching his data here. He was very consistent. However, he wasn't pushing it as hard as maybe we hoped he would. So I think he's left the door open here for Russ. Let's see what Russ can do. I'm not going to give you any lap times. We're saving those for the end. But Jim was fast in the corners. I think he was just maybe braking a little early from what we're seeing on the data here. So we'll have a chat with him afterwards about it. But in any case, the car's coming back in one piece. It's not on its roof. We're taking that as a win.
Whoopsie. Not bad. Fun little car. Whoopsie. Wait. Whoa. Picks up too much of a push. Whoopsie. Too much brakes, Russ. Too much brakes, you madman. I don't know what you want to do. It's a straightaway. Hey. Messed up the last corner. Ah. Come on, baby. Ah, well, hey, you know what? That was a lot of fun. The thing about this car, for me, it goes from loose when you turn in and it feels great, and then as soon as you put your foot back down, it goes to tight. So if it stayed on that loose plane, it would be better. I think if I stiffen the bump on the front, I go faster.
Whew. Russ Bond still has a little competitive racer left in him. He is flying out there. He just drifted the last corner here, and he was centimeters, as we say in Canada, from the front wall. He is trying very hard to give Jim a bad day. His data is fast. That's all I'm going to tell you for now. He's pulling big G's. He's braking late. He's doing all those race driver things. So I believe that's the end of his third and final lap here. So let's reconvene in the paddock here and have a chat with these gentlemen. All right, gentlemen, that was exciting. I know you're probably anxious to know your lap times. Jim, you probably don't care at all. But
not the least bit anxious.
Let's pretend you're anxious.
Okay.
And before then, tell me a little bit of what it was like to drive a Miata around this racetrack.
Well, as you know, I drove a Miata here.
You did?
Not quite as quick, although not a heck of a lot slower, I gotta say. The Miata is just, I always say it's the perfect car. If you look at what they intended to do, and how well did they do it, there's no car in the world that achieves its objective better than a Miata.
It's very singular, isn't it?
Well, the other thing that's really intriguing is that a lot of people think of it as a woman's car. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's the most raced car in the entire world. More people race Miatas than any other brand of car. And the reason it's such a great car to drive on the road is also why it's such a great car to drive on the track. It's perfectly balanced, and you can really make the car work.
I saw you sliding around out there a little bit. You had a few moments.
Yeah.
We got video evidence of that, everybody.
Oh boy.
And how about you, Mr. Racing Driver? You looked awfully fast out there. I feel like maybe we set Jim up here a little bit. We brought in a former world-class racing driver against an auto journalist. It's a tough fight.
I think the car is, what you've done to it has made it a lot better. But what it's done is it's made it to drive it a lot tougher to drive at the limit.
We wanted to make it tricky for people.
Yeah, that's good.
We wanted to challenge people.
You got 3 laps of, 2 laps of yelling at yourself, and the third lap goes.
I can figure it out on that third lap.
Out, right? And then,
I need a lot more laps than that.
But it was good. The car is great for what you're doing. It's fantastic. It's a good choice for that.
And we don't give you any practice. We don't give you any chance to really beat us. Pete and I spend months setting the car up. The racer excuses are up, everybody. It's time to reveal the results.
The last time I drove a Miata, this one came back in one piece.
You did?
Yeah, the last time it did. So
After Jim's story about being on the roof, we thought, all right, this is where it's going to go bad. But we got it done. We'll start with Jim since he was our first driver. I hope I spelled your name right, Jim.
That's right.
MotoringTV, Jim Kenzie, with a 134.36.
That sounds very
kill you.
Now, that's not bad against this list of young whippersnappers, Jim. Let's be honest.
I'm faster than all those guys.
You're in the running. You're not that. You're like right there. Clearly, he's defied age and logic with a 128.21.
Ooh.
Holy smokes. That is the fastest non-speed academist we've had here. And Pete and I had lots of cheater laps in this car. So that is our new leader, other than Pete and I, who like to leave our name at the top of the board for no good reason. So, wow, that was flying, sir. That was flying. I now need to go and take some driving lessons from this guy, because he was doing some things out there. You're trying some different gears and places than we were using.
Third through here. Yeah.
Impressive performance. So it is time to put you in your spot. Look at that. And for your efforts, of course, you win our glorious golden hairdryer, as every Miata racer pines over. And you still have an excellent head of hair there, Russ.
We call this Jag Starter Assist. Every time I had XJS and it got wet, it starts right up.
See, he'll find a racing application for that.
Perfect.
And of course, our runner-up prizes are our interesting selection of things. I think maybe Jim will want to wash the bitter taste of defeat from his mouth with a little Listerine there.
Go.
No, he's got to freshen up before his next TV appearance, his next Kenzie Corner. Thanks again, guys, and make sure you check out MotoringTV. Is it .com or .ca?
Yep,
.com. The first ones were like, what, 88?
87.
87. Man, I was still a teenager.
Elementary school.
That's exactly right. Yes.